Hi everyone, you're welcome back. My name is Mercy. Today we'll be learning how to cut this stylish gathered gown that has a kind of scallop design at the hip part. You can see how beautiful it's looking. Guys, it's been a while I posted, but yeah, I'm back now. If you're interested in this tutorial, just keep watching to the end, okay? Now I'll be making use of Ankara fabric for the upper part. You can make use of any fabric of your choice. So I'll be using 2 yards of Ankara fabric out of this one I have here, and this is my lining. It's also 2 yards for the Ankara, the upper part, and I have with me here my white lining for the down part, which is the net. It's also 2 yards of lining. Now this is my skin net. I have 9 yards here, so if you want yours to be more fuller, you can get more than 9 yards of skin net. Now let's get into the drafting. So I have my pattern paper. I'll start at this upper part at the shoulder, placing my tape like so to get my shoulder to bust. Then I'm going to go ahead and mark shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waist, and the shoulder to the hip area, okay, which is 25 inches. Now I'm going to connect it across. After doing that, I'm going to go ahead and rule it out with my ruler. Now after ruling it out, I'm going to divide my shoulder by 2, which is 16 divided by 2, 8. I'm going to mark. Now I'll be marking my neck width, which is 3 inches. That is our normal neck width. So if you are making use of high neck, just use 3 by 3 inches. That is 3 inches for the width and 3 inches for the depth, okay? But I'll be making 3.5 inches for my depth. I don't want to use 3 inches for the depth. I'll just mark 3.5 inches for the depth, but it's going to be more than that after marking my neckline. I'll be making use of the V neckline that looks in a slanty V shape way. But when I'm doing that, you will still know. So now I'm going to go ahead and connect my neckline using my French curve just to curve it out in a slanty curvy way. So after connecting it downward, you can see that it's more than the 3.5 inches depth. It's up to 5 inches for the depth for now. I'll just leave it like that because I'm going to still cut the style of the neckline that I'm talking about. But if you want yours to be high neck, you just connect your round neck 3 by 3 inches or 3 by 3.5 inches. So on the armhole area, I'm going to go down by 1 inch for my shoulder slope, and you can see I've marked it. Now I'm going to divide whatever that is remaining on the armhole by 2, go in with 0.7 inches and use my ruler to curve out my armhole like so. I'll just label chest line, bust, under bust, waist, hip, which is H. Now remember that this gown has a scallop kind of style, or should I call it cone? I don't know. So on the hip area, I'm going to go ahead placing my tape like so to mark 6 inches, but I'm going to mark 7 inches for now. Later on I just trim it out. Guys, just mark 6 inches and it's going to be okay. To get that scallop design that we're talking about, just mark 6 inches from the hip, that is under the hip. After marking your hip measurement, you just mark 6 inches, okay? So I just label it the upper part of this gown. So I just mark 6 inches there. Now the next thing I'm going to do is to input my nipple to nipple measurement divide by 2, which is 4.5, I'm going to put 4.5 starting from the bust point down to the length of this upper part of the gown. After marking it, I'm going to use my ruler to connect it straight up like so. Now I'm going to be marking my dart on the waist line. I'll be deducting half inch at the both side like this. Now I'll just from the waist I'll come down with 4.5 inches from the waist. You see me doing it. Now I'm going to connect from the waist up to the um under bust like so. I'm just making a, should I call it a diagonal dart? You can put your princess dart here if you like. You can put your normal straight dart. I'm just making my the dart that I want for this. So I'm done connecting my dart this way. The next thing I'm going to go ahead and do is to pull down my measurement, like my bust divide by 4 plus seam allowance. I added 1.5 inches seam allowance for this. My waist divide by 4 plus 1.5 inch seam allowance, and I'll put back the 1 inch I drafted as the I put on the dart leg. Now I'm going to go on the hip and divide my hip by 4, adding instead of adding 1.5 inches allowance. So instead of adding 1.5 inches, I added 1.7 inches on the hip. Now coming to the down part, which is the scallop, that is the 6 inches I added. I'll put down my hip measurement and add 2 inches for the seam allowance at that scallop line. Okay, after that I'm going to go ahead and connect all the line like this. So now guys, remember I drafted from shoulder to the hip area. Okay, I should have like drafted the half length first, because some of you may be saying that I didn't draft the half length. Now I'm going to be using my red marker to divide my waist area. On the waist area, I'm just going to mark it with this my fainted red marker, and I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. Remember, from the waist line is the half length of this upper part of the gown. Okay, so now I've cut out the excess paper out. I'm going to go ahead and cut what I just drafted. I cut the armhole. So now I'm going to leave the neck area like this, because I'm going to be using this paper to cut out the back too. So the back neck depth is going to be 1.5 inches. So I make my own 1.5 inches for the back, and I'm just curving it out like this. It's going to be a round neck. Okay, so coming to the half length, which is the waist area, I'm going to go ahead and just slant it open. I'll just cut it out. So now I have my half length, and I have the hip area, which is the scallop side. Okay, so now the half length is different, and the down part of the hip area is also different. Now I'll just bring down the nipple to nipple measurement I put. I'll just bring it down to the hem of this paper. After marking it down, I'm going to create the scallop design. So at this center part, I'm going to come in with 1 inch on the center line of this paper. I'm going to come in with 1 inch. After coming in with 1 inch, I'll just mark it to know where the 1 inch stop. So I am creating that curve, that cone curve that we saw on that. Now on this at the hip area where the 6 inches started, I came down with 1 inch. Now whatever I have from the 1 inch I came in on the down parts, if I have 3 inches, I'm going to go ahead and mark 3 inches as well at the other part. Now I'll just make use of my French curve, connecting from the 1 inch I mark at the beneath the hip area, connect it like this, like you see me doing, to the 1 inch I came in at the center point. So guys, if you know how to make use of your French curve, now is the time to use your French curve to do this connecting. But if you don't know how to use it, just make use of your hand, and it's very very simple. Trust me, it's very very simple. So I just connected it to the other side I mark. You can see that they are looking very very beautiful. Okay, now from this leg that I stop, I'll just mark 1 inch again. I'm just giving the gap of 1 inch. Now on the side part, I'll come down by 1 inch again. On the side part of this hip, I'll just came down with 1 inch. Now connecting, placing my curvage ruler like this, connecting it down to the 1 inch I marked again. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. I'll just connect from the 1 inch I came down from the up down to the 1 inch I shifted again. So that is just it. Remember that this paper is not unfold. So when it unfold, if I open it up after cutting, it's going to be looking very beautiful. But this is how it's going to be looking for now. Okay, now I am done. The next thing I'm going to do is to just cut the cone out. So if you watch closely, you will see that it's 1 inch gap, 1 inch gap. So the place I'm making this style is from the hip down to the 6 inches I mark. This is the hip area. So you can see it now. You can see how it's looking. I'm going to place it on my fabric, on the Ankara fabric, and cut it out like this. So I'll be cutting the back first. This side is the zipper area. I just added 2 inches for the zipper, and I'll be cutting. While cutting the scallop area, I'm going to add half an inch on it. I'll just be adding half an inch for the joining and everything. So I have added my seam allowance. If not, I would have added seam allowance at the side of this. But if you're making yours and you have not added your seam allowance, you will add your seam allowance now. Remember, while cutting the scallops design, add half an inch. Okay. So now you can see the half an inch I added on this style design. Now to the zipper area, I just came in on the waist, not on the waist guys, just on the hip. I just came in with a little bit and just cut it out. I just want my back to relax very well for the zipper. Okay, I'm done with the down part of the skirt. That is the back part of the skirt. I'm going to be cutting the upper back of the gown. So I'll just cut. You can see the way I place it, removing my zipper allowance. Remember that the neck depth for the back is 1.5 inches. I'll just connect it to the zipper area and cut out the neck line. So now I'm going to do my zip tightening at the waist, coming in with half an inch, connecting it up like so. Then I'm going to go ahead and cut it out. So yeah, I'm done with the back. You can see that it's very simple. Now remember to notch the dart area, so while sewing the dart you will not be confused where it is. I am done with the back. I'm going to go ahead and cut the front, and this is the front. I just cut it out. Remember that this fabric is on fold. I just cut out the neckline, that is the V. I just cut it out. You can see it here. I'll come back for the front neckline. So I'm cutting the front of this the down part of the front style. All my fabric is on fold right now, so this is the front. I'll just open it up for us to see how it's looking. You can see how beautiful it's looking. Okay, now let's head to the front for the neck design. So the neck design I'm talking about, look, it goes like a slanty way. So to get that type of neck line, I'm going to, on the shoulder, just determine where you want that neck line to be facing, whether at the or on your right or on your or left. So I'll just open my fabric up like this. From the shoulder, I just came down with 7 inches. From the shoulder, I came down with 7 inches. After that, I'll use my chalk to mark it straight up to the shoulder, like you see me doing. I'm just connecting a straight line. It has a straight line there. Now on the other side, which that I'm touching right now, just connect it slanty to meet the straight line I mark. It it was uh it can you cannot see it very clearly, just a fainted. I just mark it. I don't want it to be very clear because I'm marking this on the right side of the fabric. So just connect a straight line, marking 7 inches if you want to do the style, then connecting the V neckline slightly to meet the straight line. So after that, just cut it out like this. It's all done with the neck style. So on our next tutorial, which is the sewing part, I'm going to teach you how to sew this and also how to join the skein net. So this is it, guys. Thank you for watching, and please, if you love what you do, yeah, always remember to like and share. See you on our next tutorial. Bye for now.